Well, as you guys can see, we are joined by some special guests here in the studio. And they're not just any special guests. They are your Division III Sac Joaquin Section champion, Yuba City baseball team. And representing the Honkers, let me introduce you guys to them. We're going to start over here. We have the guy with the coolest mustache ever, Junior Brody Miller. And standing right next to him, great smile, Senior Zeke Garcia.
There's that smile.
All right. Now we're going to go over to this side. He may be too cool to smile, but he's not too cool on the pitching mound. Brandon Pelakowicz is here. And right next to Brandon, head coach, the man with the master plan, Maury Castaneda. What's going on, guys?
How are you?
All right. Well, I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of champions here in the studio. So
it's a pleasure being your greatness.
Oh, you're too kind. I paid him to say that, by the way. You know, you guys just achieved your first section banner since 2015, and you did it really in epic fashion in a come-from-behind, thrilling victory over Central Catholic. Can you just talk about the excitement of being able to raise that blue banner, especially in a game that did not come easy to you guys?
It just felt great, finally doing something that hasn't been done in 10 years. I think it was a good experience for all of us. Me and Brandon, all the teams have been talking about this since our freshman year. So I think it was a great experience to have.
It meant like a lot. Well, with the emotions going throughout the game, highs and lows, we were down 5 at one point in the game. So just at the end of the game, coming out on top, it felt great, and felt good to pull through.
Coach, just looking through the box score, I mean, there's a 5-run inning in there, and the guys are telling me all with 2 outs. I mean, the resiliency shows up in the stat column for the game that you guys put together. How do you assess the fight and the battle that they had to ultimately get that prize?
These guys are tough. They're a throwback kind of team. Pat, we were talking before. They take me back to kind of a team that I was a part of when I was a kid. They're playground kids that just love to play baseball. And what I thought was special about that, and Kevin, you're talking about what happened there, was that there was never any give up. There wasn't any crying. There wasn't any finger pointing or anything like that. There was just a sense of devotion to duty to get the job done. And then as it kind of, they just followed the process, right? Zeke wears it, trust the process. And that's really all it was just trust the process, came through. And like I said, resiliency, they got it done.
Brody, take me back to even the winter time, right? You guys are in the weight room. You can't get out there yet. You're getting prepared for the season. Did you feel when the season started that this is where this team was destined to end up?
We had a great start on the year against Lincoln. We beat them. They're a good team. They won the D5 section championship, so they're a solid team. Then we rolled into Folsom, or was it McClatchy? Yeah, we played McClatchy, who's another really good team there in the D1 playoffs. They had a hot start to the year. We lost by 1 run, so we didn't feel bad after that loss, but then we just kept rolling into league, yeah.
And you got hot at the right time, which is all that matters. What is the overall expectation or mentality of this team as you guys head into NorCal championships?
Yeah.
You know, we're very excited to go into the state playoffs. First time for the school. It's just getting better competition. We came out this last week, just worked our butts off to practice and get ready for this tournament.
Brandon said you guys worked your derrieres off. Can you just describe what a Yuba City baseball practice is like, and you know how everything runs out there?
We have our normal warm-ups, our stretching. We do a lot of base running work. Then we'll go into our daily vitamins, which is our lead-ups. Then usually we'll do some team defense, just shaking out the rust if needed. Then we'll go right into bunting after that. We do a lot of bunting.
Coach, this was a really strange week for baseball. That's such a daily grind game to have a week in between hoisting a section banner and then not even playing, finding out who you're going to play in the next round. How do you handle an off week in baseball?
It's tough, you know. It really is. It's and you take the off week, but then you also take the fact that these guys are staring down graduation, and they're staring down, you know, senior sunsets and a bunch of different things, and parents are trying to figure out what happens the day after graduation. So it's a fine balance, if you will. And so, you know, the rest is always good because we get tired, and, you know, it's good to rebuild. But, you know, like you said, we need to keep firing on all cylinders. So we had to step it down. The coaches and I talked to you know, we came up with a little procedure what we were going to follow as far as how we were going to bring them all the way down and start to ramp up so that we could peak again on Tuesday. So I think we're ready.
Zeke, graduation's a big deal, and you got a handful of seniors on this team, but am I right in assuming that it's graduation here and then state championship games here that you get to keep playing?
Yeah, I can't wait for the experience for graduation first, but I think mostly chasing that state championship would be great, especially since we could be the first one to do it in YC history.
Now, another thing, this is a question I like to ask teams. Before your guys' games, do you have anything that you do to loosen up, relax, any pregame rituals, any silly things you do in the locker room before coming out and getting ready to play ball?
We listen to music in the locker room. That's all I can really talk about. Then we go right into our warm-ups. We're smiling, talking, laughing, having fun before the game because it's a game at the end of it.
You said music is the only thing you can talk about.
Yeah.
I want to know what you can't talk
That's
about.
right.
Please, the audience would love to know.
No, there's no cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you
This
do?
is off the record completely. Well, anyway, if you guys want to check out the Yuba City baseball team in action, they are hosting this Tuesday in round 1 of the Sac Joaquin NorCal Championship. So definitely get out there and support this wonderful baseball team that's up here. You will definitely be entertained with them, that is for sure.
We have the best hot dogs in the section.
Well, now I'm going.
Yeah, right?
Now I'm in.
And then remember, shutouts, you get more wings, right, with that?
Yeah.
So,
And we're looking for a wing sponsor.
well, there you go. Wingstop if you're watching, you know. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you coming down here.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.